Hello, this is Astrologer Coach Sonja Francis, and today we're going to be talking about the upcoming lunar eclipse on June 4th at 7:13 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, which is the East Coast time in the US, or 4:13 a.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time, which is the West Coast time in the US. So this lunar eclipse is a very powerful, extra powerful full moon that intensifies sort of a shift that's happening right now and that got started during the time of the solar eclipse 2 weeks ago. And we're sort of like upgrading our consciousness. And this time around, because it's a lunar eclipse, it happens on a more emotional level. Because the moon and the sun are opposite in the skies right now. And so these energies, these oppositions need to be considered and need to be put into balance within us. So the sun being in Gemini and the moon being in Sagittarius in 14 degrees, we're getting sort of this sense of needing to balance what we think on a day-to-day basis and the things that we've been programmed to think about, and on the other hand, a deeper truth or a deeper understanding of what is the bigger picture of things and what is really the deeper meaning of things that are happening in the world. And so there's this sort of this balance that needs to be struck between those two things. And then the other part of this eclipse is that, you know, we need to kind of see um, what do we think about and what do we know. It's sort of like, because the programming that we've been programmed as young people, since the time we were born, those things really limit us in a sense, because there's only so much information that you can take in, right? But there's other information out there uh, that we're maybe not in touch with yet. So how can we get more open and more expand more our horizons to really be open to knowledge that's beyond the things that we know already and beyond our programming, right? So to look for answers not only in our head, because that's where the programming is coming from, and that's kind of limiting, but to look for answers on a deeper level, in our heart, in our inner wisdom place, things that are sort of like universal truths, and to just see like how can we find answers more coming from those places. Now, the last lunar eclipse that was in that same degree was on June 4th, 1993. So if we all think back to that time in our lives and see what happened back then, what were the kind of things that were important to us back then, and what did we think about, and what shifts happened in our perspective of life, or in our perspective of what we've learned during that time. How did we expand our horizons, at that time? So we can think back to that, and then the placement that's very much connected to this lunar eclipse is Venus. Venus is very close to the sun at this time, and on June 5th, a day after the lunar eclipse, Venus is actually going to eclipse the sun, which means that it will move across the sun. Now, this doesn't happen very often. It happens every like 113 years or so, I believe, and it happens twice within 8 years. So it comes in like comes in two cycles, so to speak, right? So the last time Venus eclipsed the sun was in 2004. I believe it was in May 2004. And now, 8 years later, it's eclipsing the sun again. And then this won't happen for another 113 years, until I think 2021 or something like that. So really, what is Venus? What does that mean when Venus is eclipsing the sun? Now, the sun represents our consciousness, our awareness, and Venus represents our heart center, our love, our relationships. So when Venus crosses over the sun, it's almost like our heart center becomes more part of our consciousness, becomes more part of our awareness. And we're becoming more clear that really we need to come more from the heart. We need to open our heart more. We need to really connect more to other people. And in 2004, this energy shift happened for the first time. And now, 2012, this is happening for the second time. So there's a deepening that happens, because this is the second time around. So it's going deeper. And so we're really being invited to bring like a heart-centeredness to all of the things we do, to all the things that we think about, to all the things that we believe in, and create our future from that place. Now, Venus is the creative power of the feminine, right? It's a divine marriage. It tries to bring together opposites, especially Venus and Gemini. It tries to unify the duality of things, right, and bring them together. Now, with Venus eclipsing the sun like this, right after the lunar eclipse, we're really being invited to step more into that power of our heart and our intuition. Now, for women, that means that we need to really connect to that place in us again, or really empower ourselves by stepping into that place. For men, it really means to reclaim their hearts and reclaim their connection to their own intuition, because men have been very removed from that. There's been this judgment that being masculine means that you need to be disconnected from your heart and need to be disconnected from your intuition, or both. So now, we're being invited, men and women, as a human race, to step back into that place of heart-centeredness and stepping into our intuition more. So the other thing that's happening with this lunar eclipse as well is that Neptune is stationing to go retrograde right after the time of the lunar eclipse. And so this is also very powerful energy, because whenever an outer planet stations, this particular energy gets emphasized and gets accelerated in a sense. So with Neptune, this is sort of the higher octave of Venus. It has very much to do with our connection to our own divinity, and with the connection we have to everything around us on an energetic level, to realize or to see that there's an interconnectedness between everything. Right? So Neptune is teaching us about that. And so with Neptune stationing to go retrograde right at that time, this energy of divinity and love, universal love, and connecting to other people on an energetic level is going to be more present. So what that means is that for this solar eclipse, because there's a lot of squares and oppositions connected to the solar eclipse, there's some tension that is energetically present during this time of the lunar eclipse. And with any tension, we're being invited to stretch ourselves a little bit and to grow, to kind of make these energies work with each other. Now, the tendency will be to kind of feel uncomfortable and to feel maybe scared as well, to have fears come up. But we can use this energy to really lift us and move to another level, to another vibrational level in our evolution. And whenever there's tension, it's very energizing as well. So we're feeling tremendous energy to move beyond what we've known ourselves to be before. And with Mars being in square to the lunar eclipse, as well as Chiron being in square to the lunar eclipse, there is a sense that we need to find as well a balance between the healing that needs to take place on a emotional and spiritual level, and the physical or energetic force that is within us that wants to understand things a little bit better, and wants to get organized, and wants to do things well, wants to perfect things, wants to Mars is also the physical body. So it's also about paying attention to our physical body, paying attention to how can we be more healthy in our lives? How can we take care of our body in a way that serves us? Um, and so, with all these oppositions and these squares, in energetically speaking, we really need to connect to a place where we can have compassion with ourselves and where we can trust that life is flowing through us and that life is giving us exactly what we need to experience right now. But on the other hand, we also need to look and see where can we take care of ourselves better? Where can we get organized in our lives more? Where can we make sure that we're listening to our bodies and that we're making sure that we're taking care of, having enough rest, taking care of, eating well, taking care of, having plenty of water and being hydrated. All these things are also really important for our evolution and for being able to raise our vibrations, right? And so the lunar eclipse, really, the purpose of this lunar eclipse is to really enable us to grasp something beyond what we've known, we were able to process in the past. So really being able to to receive and perceive things that are on a higher vibrational level, that expand our horizons, that we've not been able to perceive before, that we've not been able to process before. And so this is the shift that's taking place. Now, this lunar eclipse is really best used. The energy is very much about communication, collaboration, envisioning a future that we really want to see for ourselves and for this planet. And to really stay centered in the heart, to really get connected to love, to universal love, to personal love, and to see that love doesn't divide things. Love's always brings things together, includes things, and creates more love. Love creates more love. So I always say to my clients, that whenever you have fear, right, in your life, that just means that your heart space is closed off, that there's sort of like a tension in your body, and that creates the fear. And it usually is connected to our conditioned mind. It's usually a thought that we have about something that happened in the past that we're projecting into the future, and then we get scared and we go, oh, we don't want that to happen, right? So we get tensed, and there's a tension that happens, and our heart gets closed off. Now, when we open our hearts, when we stay heart-centered, fear doesn't have space to coexist at the same time as love. And so it's very important for us to stay centered in a love space towards ourselves, towards our lives, our situations, towards other people. And of course, this is not going to, happen perfectly. We're not going to be able to be in that space 24/7 all the time. But we can be conscious of creating more space for ourselves. We can be conscious of creating more compassion for ourselves, and to stay heart-centered as best as we can. And the key really is as best as we can, because that's all we can do anyways. So really stay open towards the idea that life is giving us what we need at all times, and trusting that when we stay in the flow of that, when we stay in the flow of life and we take care of ourselves really well, that we are being elevated to a higher vibration, and that through this elevation we can connect to everything around us more fully and more presently. And this will bring us more joy and more satisfaction in life as well. Now, if you have any questions about this upcoming lunar eclipse, please feel free to email me at Sonja@astrologercoach.com. That's SONJA@astrologercoach.com. And I'll be happy to help you as best as I can. If you want to do a reading with me and get a little bit more of a clarity around where these shifts are happening in your life and how you can deal with the energies in a way that is supportive of you, where you don't need to move into anxiety or fear, where you don't need to resist what's happening, but where you can really open your heart and see how is this supporting you, how is this bringing you to a next level, and where in your life is it bringing you to a next level, right? Please feel free to contact me. You can see my services listed on my website at astrologercoach.com/services.html. And I'd be very happy to support you in that way as well. I find astrology is a fantastic tool for that, to really help us see things in a different light and to help us navigate through life with more ease. And the other thing that's always available to you as well is my weekly forecasts, my weekly blogs that I post every Sunday night on my website. And if you go to my website, to the blog page, to the forecast page, you can also subscribe to my blogs there through FeedBurner. And then you'll receive an email every Sunday evening with the forecast. So you don't have to go to my website every Sunday evening. So that's all available, and please take advantage of all the things that support you with moving through this tremendous intensity of energy that's coming towards us right now with more ease, and the speeding up of time that's happening right now as well, through all these energies that all these shifts and energies that are happening in the universe right now. Really connect to yourself in a grounded way and as best as you can, and really take good care of yourself. All right, you have a fantastic lunar eclipse. Enjoy, and I will be back soon with another video. And this is Astrologer Coach Sonja Francis. Goodbye.